Morning, I participated in a forum, and it is called ASEAN Youth Volunteer Forum 2025. Like, I actually knew this from a friend I work with when I was writing newspaper, the Inspire Youth Journal.
Yeah,
and
I know.
she told me about this forum, which was pretty exciting. We can join the forum both online or offline, but because the offline forum is in Malaysia, so I decided to join online, which was actually pretty interesting because you get to, learn from other people and understand their insights. And after joining this, you can also get an e-certificate for our extracurricular activities.
Yeah, so I just hear a little bit short clips from your forum this noon, when we have lunch together, when you bring the iPad downstairs. And I think that is really great. And I think this forum is famous worldwide because it also have a small screen for the people to do the language for deaf person.
I think it's actually pretty interesting too. And there are 4 sessions in total. And each session they covers a different topic, but mainly the big theme of this entire forum is on volunteerism, because that's actually the name, ASEAN Youth Volunteer Forum. So it's all about volunteering programs and why specifically young people or youth, when they volunteer, their small actions can have a really big impact. And I think it's actually cool because I learned a lot from their perspective, and I actually learned that about how AI has the potential to harm the environment as a result. I actually know about this, but now that I think about it, people nowadays, they use AI a lot, and it's been gaining popularity ever since. And I think the more questions we ask them, the more data is being not necessarily wasted, but the more data it's being used, and it's going to affect the environment in return.
Yeah, and many people, some people, I know that they know that using AI a lot will harm the environment, but they still use that. And I think behavior that people every day are typing testing message to ChatGPT to adjust some really easy question, or maybe just have some fun chat with them, sometimes will harm environment. Yeah, and many people also overuse that.
Well, because we're not really scientists and we don't really understand the full scope of how it's going to harm the environment, but to some extent, we do understand that data is being used and we need to invest specifically in data. If you make that, it's going to create really big noises. But yeah, it's going to waste a lot of data. And I think there's nothing wrong with using such intelligent tools to help with our daily lives, but I think as humans we must know when to stop and when should we use it.
Yeah, we have to know the limit, because everything that we invent is really good, everything invent all for the good reason, but if we overuse that, so sometimes the effect will be more harm than good. For example, games. So game, when first invented, it's just for relaxing, for relaxation, to have people to be chill, to reduce stress after a long day of busy work, or maybe long day of busy study. But after that, when many people they be addicted to games, and they also have some kind of bad behavior when they play some kind of violent games. So games become in some cases more harm than good.
Yeah, I think everything's good when we use it to the right amount, and it'll be bad if we overuse it. Just like reading books. It is supposed to be good, but if we spend our entire time reading too much, it's going to have the adverse effect. which I'm not really sure if that's true, but you know, overconsumption of something is not always good. Like for example, I'm not talking about being a vegetarian, because if you're actually a vegetarian, then you'll have your own diet. But if you're not, and you only eat vegetables just to lose weight, I'm not talking about vegan, because we're not vegan, so we probably don't really know their diet. But for some people, they think that if they consume less meat and rice, they will be able to lose weight. Well, that's not true. It's all about the consumption and how much you consume
Fat, how much
food,
calorie.
and also how you balance between eating food and exercise.
Yeah, of course. And many people, like I think many people, they have a way to reduce weight in a really negative way. For example, like they could not eat, they will skip breakfast, or maybe like they skip some meal in the day. And I think that is not a good choice for them. Because when like skip meal like that, they just like be more hungry and be more tired, and they cannot do anything in a high rate, in a good way. So I think that is a really bad idea. They have to like balance between eating healthy food, eating like they have a regular time for eating, for example like eating snack, eating meal, eating healthy food, and also like they have to exercise regularly.
Absolutely agree. Well, this afternoon there'll be 2 more sessions, but I think I am more interested in the 4th session, because in Vietnam we also have a representative coming from our country, and she is also the founder of Inspire Youth Journal that I work with, and she'll be one of the speakers in session 4. And in session 3, maybe I'll skip that because I have other deadlines, and I also have the article for this month, which I still haven't finished. I think I only write 1 page, which normally in my article, I usually write 3 pages or a bit more than 3 pages. There's an article that I wrote 5 pages, but that's really rare, because when I write more, it means I have more information. But now I only finish 1/3 of the article, so I still got 2/3 of it, which I think for today I'll be able to finish 1 part, and tomorrow I'll be able to, you know, finish the overall article. Because after this article, I guess that I will have to write another position paper for my MUN conference, and I think I don't want the 2 deadlines to clash each other, because even though the article, the deadline will be the 23rd, today is only 12th, which I still have a lot of time, but I think that if I finish it now, I'll have more time for my position paper later on, so
Yeah.
the 2 things will not clash with each other.
Yeah, that is also a really like a good schedule, a good timetable when you finish one job, finish one task, and you change to the other one, so you can like keep up with your own pace.
Yeah, and the hardest thing I find about writing articles is now I think it's actually easier to choose a topic, because I know how to choose a topic that interests me. But another thing is that sometimes I get overwhelmed by information. Like I found too many article that is so interesting, and I want to use all of their information to put in my article, but then I will have to, you know, select them so that I will not be repetitive inside my article. So sometimes I get overwhelmed by the information that I found for my articles.
Sometimes there's a lot of interesting facts and interesting information that we want like put all of it in our essays, because we want everyone to know about that too.
And the thing is, I don't know where to begin, so I think I know a way to solve this problem is, in the past I used to write things in order. Like I'll write this introduction, I'll move on to the body, but now I don't need to write in order, because I can just write parts that I feel like it's easier, and then the part that is harder, I'll skip it until the last minute. So for example, in my article this month, there'll be 4 sections. The first is about the nature of family vlogging. The second is on the pros, and the second is on the cons, and finally is like a question in the end. And I find that writing the 4th part is actually easier, because I already found the evidence for that part. So I'll start with the 4th one, and then I'll start with the first one. So you don't really need to write in order. but only like write what you prefer. So your article will be at its best quality.
Yeah.